So we're into November, and these little appliances we have in our basement called furnaces are going to be running constantly all the way probably till, well, hopefully only April, but depends on our spring weather. We were visiting some clients today, and this is why I'm just going to bring this to everyone's attention. I know that probably more than half of you are guilty of this, including myself, until I got a really fancy thermostat, but we're going to explain that soon. They said that their furnace sometimes goes boom or it whistles, and I said, let me go down and hear what you're talking about. So when it was running, it was literally whistling like a flute. And I said, there is something going on here with the airflow. So the first thing I wanted to check was the air filter. And to my surprise and their surprise, this is a fairly new furnace. So just to show you the whistling I was talking about, we went and fired up the furnace. I put the old filter back in, and I want you to listen to this. The whistling is coming from pinholes in the ductwork where it's crimped, where it's pulling air through really tight locations. And when I don't know if you can hear this, but when I pull this filter out, all the whistling was gone. When we put the new filter back in, furnace sound stayed the same. Okay, I want you to try this, ladies. Take your blow dryer and choke it out for 5 seconds and see what happens. It gets really, really, really hot. And you let go of your hand and it'll blow super hot air out the other side. That's what this furnace is going to do. So when I say it is the number one cause of furnace failure, a furnace is supposed to last 30, 40 years if they're maintained. If you're starving the furnace, you're going to hurt the blower motor because it's going to work harder and harder and harder. And number two, those heat exchangers that are counting on that airflow to keep it cool are going to end up overheating and over time cracking and failing just because they cannot get the desired airflow to keep the furnace running smoothly. So this is the number one cause of premature furnace failure. And I'll explain why. You think, well, it's just a dirty filter, but all of the ductwork in your house, the air passes through this before it gets to those ducts. And if this is restricted, your blower motor is working really, really hard to provide air to all of that ductwork. Some of the filters you buy are charcoal, or they're yellow, or they're white. But when you pull yours out and it's this color, and you put the exact same one beside it, instantly you know that it should be replaced. Now when you're replacing a filter, there's always a little arrow on these. Remember, the air flows towards your furnace. So the airflow arrow must be towards your furnace. You'll see the filter fit loose in here. And there is a little cap for this. Some don't have this cap. And if you don't have this cap, that means that your furnace is pulling air from this side. It should be pulling from all your return air. This little cap fits on here so that it seals that and brings the air through here. If you don't have one of these, take yourself some silver duct tape, put it over that hole. Trust me on that, because then your air is being forced through all your return ductwork rather than it robbing air from your furnace room here and not doing its job doing the return air. If you don't go out and change your thermostat just because of this, but if you have a Wi-Fi or programmable thermostat, chances are it has the reminder function on. Sorry, we're going to go to preferences, reminders, air filter. You would set this to 60 days, done, and you reset timer once you put your new filter in. Simple as that. Preventative maintenance, a $5,000 furnace is way more expensive than 6 filters a year. So when you come to buy a filter, first thing you need to do is remember what size you have. On your old filter, you're going to see on the end the exact size of what you're replacing. Every furnace is different. Some are wider, some are longer, some are really wide filters, like take these. These are expensive. Those you will get actually more than 60 days. So if you have that type, I would go with the recommended change interval on that. There is these other numbers on here, which are, they call them the particle micron filtration level, all depending on your use. If you have pets in the house, if you have a dusty environment, if it's summertime, if you live on a dusty gravel road, let's say out in the country, and you want to keep the furnace cleaner, you probably want to go with a higher one if you have allergies, stuff like that. So you're probably going to text me or call me and say, hey Glenn, what is the best air filter? And my only answer to this is a clean one. That is my tip for today. If you have any questions about this video or any of our other videos, call me, text me, email us. We are here to help. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.